Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host Martin Wong here, and this morning in our trading idea with SMARTRobie, we definitely have a few interesting shares to look at, and also looking at last week also in here. Now take note, the market right now, it's heading some sort of situation as we have seen yesterday, and also don't forget we are seeing the KLCI finally turning red pentagon after it went green. Now I know many of you are ready to get in, but the question is no. Because why? When the market turn red pentagon, this is where you need to be cautious and stay out. Let's see what we have for you in this morning breakfast show. Now this morning, the focus of our breakfast show will be on the on the ST2 intraday, because today we reserve the time for experienced and fast-paced intraday trading. So we will be looking at some intraday trading in here, and also not to forget, we have our promotion in here. Check out the advertisement, the promotion slide that we have in our SMARTRobie app in here. Now, like it or not, the Bank Negara are taking the interest rate, right, unchanged, and looking into view, as I said before many times, again, the economy is recovering soon. So raising interest rate is definitely a no-no, but lowering would never be, because many of our retiree and many of Malaysians are doing a lot of savings. So definitely a higher interest rate is preferred all over in here. Like it or not, Malaysian has never been really big on interest rate cut, but more likely to raise interest rate. But of course, we have many properties. Raising interest rate will add to the cost of doing business in here, but for that, the banking stock will do much better. Now let's move on to the hot sector right now. I think many of you have known, or even check out our tradebsa.com. You could see right now the hot sector. Let me just show you here the chart, but switching the wider chart. How do I know that? Okay, and all you gotta do is just switch on to this, right? You can see the hot sector right now were construction. You previously look at that chart over there, but since then it has changed, and guess what? You have foreign funds also. Can you see the red dot? Let me just show you this here. This red dot here, that means we have the climatic buying almost at 500 million. Okay, that's almost 500 million. And yesterday we have the minus 63, and also that's why we saw the KLCI, right? For that purpose, let me just refresh this again, right? Okay, hit that again, and you would see why we have this market down. But we can also switch back to our SMARTRobie chart. Is bearing the thing is not responding in here, and you can see the KLCI right now is turning red pentagon. All right, you may not see it in here, but we did have that red pentagon. Now you can see that. So to me, that is a sign of market really to east sideways, and of course it will test back the 1560. The 1660 it's really a resistance level in here. As you scroll up, and you could see the 1597, which is the market this morning in here, looking at one point. We hope that this market can hit higher, but for the time being we are seeing weakness coming in. So take note of this in here. So going forward will be rather challenging as we see this market tapering in off. A lot has been said about the other sectors like the oil and gas in here. TFP, G-Nex has a news which I will talk about it also shortly, and Genentech continue to hit for higher. FBI up 8%. Top Glove is up 8% because of the resumption of the glove export they can do to US through the agreement between they have with the US Customs and Border. So that's why you see Top Glove went up by 8% in here. C-Hub is up 23. Big decliners are F&M and Kluang, all right, and Ajinomoto in here. So that's the market that we have. But construction, take note, industrial products are coming back in as we see in the hot sectors in here. So definitely that's a good market roundup in here. And the only company that actually beaten expectation was Pindaran Jaya. Many of them were just sort of, doing fairly in here, but the construction sector is rallying periodically. This is due to the economic reopening, and we've seen the cases also in Klang Valley continue to drop lower and lower, that we are moving to phase 2, and this weekend we are able to travel inter-district. As such, I have to announce next week there won't be any breakfast show for Monday to Friday, but the evening session will still be on, as I'll be away for a short holiday during the morning breakfast show. I think Monday and Wednesday I'll be away, and we all know Thursday is the Malaysia Day. So what will remain is probably Friday. Let's see whether Friday I'll be in, but Monday and Wednesday I'll be out just for a short break. And I think all of you is also due for a short break now that the economy is reopening up, especially those of you living in Klang, responding 2.7 million. Again, economic recovery is pretty much responsible for this, and also strong earning from the higher gross margin profit. So if you look at Leong Fat here, hitting the stock chart, stock gain here. Right, you can see the market since green pentagon, very nice, right? Switching to a wider chart here, backing this down, you can see market breaking up in here and looking pretty good. So if you have followed the green pentagon, you would see Leong Fat, it's about 20% since the last green pentagon. And something I want to share with you also is the latest edition. And for those of you who wanted to sort of go in and just take a look at trading plan in here, we have added back the resistance. So it's very close to the R1 of 1.7% in here, and the R2 at 123, which is about 8% in here. So right now the weekly resistance is 115, which is just short of 2% from the last closing price at 113. So if you need to take some sort of position, make sure, and as I said before, you want to buy taking out the old high where the market's going up in here. But definitely we have the old resistance at the 8%, okay, from our closing price. And also looking at the, now if you have this stock, let's take a look at the Leong Fat exit strategy in here. Now Leong Fat exit strategy is telling us that it's way above the support level, S1 at 91 cents, S2 at 82 cents, which is almost a 26% from below of the closing price, which is 113 yesterday closing price in here. And weekly support is minus close to about 8%. We all know that it's partly because Leong Fat is, moving away based on this news. Good news, right? So usually when we see this kind of up movement, think to take some partial profit. If you are trading, I think it's also good practice to really do that in here. The further away, further below of S1 and S2 support level, the closer from the closing price, it's better. You want a market that is moving higher. So there's two choices in here: take some partial profit or continue to run it higher too. All right, so that, take note of that one. We will continue to review these kind of stocks, looking at the support and resistance too. Now the next stock, and I hope you all like this support and resistance. Now the next stock we will talk about is IHH Healthcare. All right, you can see IHH Healthcare, big players like big institutional that is really generally in, is EPF having an 8% in here. Again, market recovery, a lot of the hospitality stock, travel stocks will continue to do well, as I said before in here, as COVID-19 infection cases continue. So some of the private healthcare will do well. And let's take a look at IHH. All right, and hitting, click on that one. Okay, so then stock chart, SMARTRobie. So you can see here, market really break up, very nicely break out in here, up 4% in here. And let's take a look if we are interested to have a plan with IHH. All right. And so this news also talks about the net profit. which is higher than 483 million compared to the last corresponding about 120 million. So IHH definitely doing well in here. Next quarterly earnings is on the 26th, so you see some price move before the earnings date. We are very close to the resistance level R1, which is at 694, which is close to about $7, 5% movement, and 740 at 12%. But while weekly resistance is $3, and of course, if you market were to take out the weekly resistance, will be a pretty good location for some of you who want to do some action. So exit strategy, let's look at exit strategy here. And S1, S2 are pretty far down because the market is moving up. You can see here the further below the support, that tells you this market is actually moving higher. So two things you can do: let the profit run, or look for next resistance to take some profit in here. It is well above the ATR stop loss, which is 8% in here. Okay, so that's pretty good. So that pretty much tells you that stay with the trend. Stay with the trend. Okay, stay with the trend. Okay, let's move on to the next news that we have for you in here is G-Nex. Now this is very bad news, incriminating, under investigation of MACC. So as a corporation, you don't like this kind of news in here. There's not much that we can find out from these news. As I said before, very sketchy. But let's take a look at G-Nex this morning, whether this will have an implication. The market should drop on this one. Stock price in here, and yeah, it's only down slightly, 1.4%. But let's take a look at the stock chart. Click on that part. Okay, and so let's. Okay, while we are waiting for that, this morning I think must be a lot of people logging into SMARTRobie in here, right? And it's a bit slower. All right, there you go. And market is pretty much holding up at the base level in here. Just pitch it up here. You got a lot of support here right now at 72 cents, and the market did test back at the last 72 cents, isn't it? Am I mistaken? 71.5 cents just now. Yeah. So 72, so seems to be 72 cents. That would be that level. And if you have G-Nex, let's look at the exit strategy. What is SMARTRobie telling us about the exit strategy for this one? Because news like this are not good, so we need to know. It's very close to the support level, S1 71 cent, right? We are at 72 cents. So next support level, S2 will be 66 cents, which is about 10% away. So you either want to if you don't like this position, you want to be out. That's a 3% loss there, plus a 10% downside for that one. And the weekly resistance, weekly support is at 71 cents, which has happened to be the same level too, right? The further away S1, S2, the better. And you want to be market moving higher and not to retest the support level. Okay, so right now, at one point, the market did turn green pentagon, as we can see before earlier on G-Nex. Right, but maybe they are impacted by this news, and right now you don't want it to test the old support at 72 cents in here. Okay, so take a note of this one in here, and let's move on to the next story that we have for you. So next story will be on AirAsia, the ability, and again, AirAsia is a lot about turning its being low-cost aircraft carrier right now to a digital firm, so-called, said by the Star paper in here, about many months that they need to work on this in here, net losses. So lots of very, really bad news, and they are talking about super apps, logistic and financial technology. Basically, it's an app that can order food, do investing for you, do some banking. So that's what they're talking about, more like a kind of credit card in here. So they're banking on in this one in here. Point out that the will fall. Remember, AirAsia need to shove up its shareholders fund to avoid company falling into PN17 by January 2022. So definitely some of the good news. And there's a buy call here. With a lower target price at 108 from previously 117. Let's take a look at AirAsia right now, and on the stock price in here. Okay, let's look at this morning live stock prices. And AirAsia this morning is hardly moved at 91 cents with the target price from the analyst at 108. So just short of 10% in here. Let's look at the stock chart, stock comment here. And you can see the market definitely has moved up. Right now, continue to pound on the news of a super app in here. We could see AirAsia was up 7% since the green pentagon in here. And if you have this stock, what will be your exit strategy? Let's take a look at the support and resistance level in here. So the S1 is about 11%, so it's way up above the S1 and S2, but it's very close to the weekly support. So take note, if the market were to break the weekly support, there is probably a little bit of action of moving sideways in here, and you do not want to test back on the now. If you intend to go in, on this stocks inside here, and you want to test it out in here, definitely the weekly resistance, which is around the 6 or 5% level in here, something that AirAsia need to break out. As you can see before, there's a lot of resistance overhead in here. So generally markets, when have resisted, they sort of find it very difficult to break. So usually it's going to move sideways. So with this new feature of support resistance, you pretty much know where to understand and the kind of resistance that you can see here. All right, let's take a look at the next market that we have for you is the US market. Now right now on the US side, we are expecting the corrections for the US market, as the kind of news coming out, and also COVID. They've been trying to keep the number of infection lower due to despite having a high vaccination rate, but there is still a lot of resistance from the American citizens. Some of them generally are the red state or the Republican, refusing to vaccinate in there. Okay, so that's the condition that we see so far. And you can see this morning the S&P 500 in here. Last night closes a bit low. So while we are waiting for this market to turn a bit up here, oh yes, it already is. That's what's Tesla. Oh yes, there is. So you can see also at the same time, okay, we do have red pentagon also. That's from last week. Turning to. So you can see right now in here, US market already turned. Now, no doubt the trend is still up. There's a lot of shakeout going higher and higher. We did hit 4,005 previously, and now right now it's correcting in here. And there's a lot of good news been coming out in here. So it's about time it is due for some sort of correction. And yesterday, some big, very active stocks was on Apple. The American Airlines did pretty well, we can see here. So simply that tells you the travel sector, because of the long Labor weekend and more people are moving up in here. Peloton, and then you have big gainer Lulu, which is a TV, digital TV kind of entertainment. Lump has done pretty well, up by $10 almost to 5 cents. And big decliner are Amazon in here. All right, so take note, we have seen the red pentagon for the US market, so no doubt it is due for correction. Okay, and on the US side, Apple continue to have a lot of good news. So the focus is on Apple, and we can see from here, you just click on Apple in here. Right, let's take a look at the stock chart. Okay, and you can see Apple definitely heading up, since the green pentagon in here, but there is possibility a 2-bar reversal, something showing weakness. You have line change here, so maybe a little bit of profit taking might come back. Now you can see the 2-bar reversal here, so be careful. All right, and if you have gone in, you should gone in on the first bar after the green pentagon if you are the beginner, or buy some sort of a pullback in here. All right, to me, Apple is a long-term kind of investing, and many of our masterclass, those who came, I have talked a lot about the strategy playing into the Apple stocks in here. Okay, definitely it is very, very positive flow. All right, let's move over to the SGX side. Definitely stocks to watch is Ascot Resident Trust and Del Monte. Let's take a look at the SGX right now, and switching to SMARTRobie here. and still congesting. You can see here for the Singapore market continue to struggle. Trends are really pointing down, and again the red pentagon with the yellow trend zone immediately after that continue to show this SGX is moving on a sideway. And stock to focus in here is SPH. Let's take a look at SPH. SPH SK6U. Okay, SPH is okay, it's a SPH REITs. No, I think it's a Singapore Press Holding. Let me just see. Press. Yes, T39. It's T39. Okay, T39. So T39. Okay. Okay. While we wait for the T39. This apps is pretty not responsive this morning in here. Okay, and let me check out on the other handphone. Yes, it's up here. Stock chart and stock comment for T39. You can see T39 is already been running since 10% here. Alright, so this stock is in play, and you see newspaper like what you see will want you to buy a stock that's going higher in here. Okay, so it's up since 10% in here. Let's look at the likelihood of a trading plan for this, and where are we looking at? So oh yes, the SGX support and resistance will be implemented on the next phase, so take note of it. We are doing just for the KLCI in here. So you can see it's in a strong condition mode. Okay, strong condition, more like an uptrend in here. The next quarterly earning is outdated, so we will get the team to move it out. All right, something to take note of. And let's move on to our next news. All right, so our next news is on the section of the leaderboard in here. We did have a few good winners. So last week, all right, we were looking at the landmark 3rd of September. Okay, so let's take a look again. We are at using the real-time chart. So we want to switch to an hourly chart for landmark. Okay, so landmark was the stock that was on the 9 o'clock was around here. Yes, the market did retest back the old high, 43 cents. But since then, turn red pentagon. You just need to be very careful in here. Once it turn red pentagon, market generally will pull back in again. You got so if we want this market to go up higher, definitely you want to see another green pentagon. But on the daily side, you can see the auto trend line. That's the one as part of the plug-in in here. And you will see this market, it's slightly to retest back this 43 cents, but there is still a lot of room to move sideways here. As you can see, the volume already tapered off for landmark. Okay, so let's look at next week. This week, episode 116. For 10th of September, the two ST shares, so switching back to the KLSE and Robie chart here, going to ST2. So you can see all things being the same, we want to select one that has pretty much around the pentagon flow, around the 60 or 70% in here. The one that is pretty good is ESA 50%, but I wanted something a bit higher, closer to 60%. And so that was GEX. I came across GEX. GEX was here earlier on. Right now it's not here already. So that's how I found out about GEX. Remember, it changes every 30 minutes in here. So FBI is 90%. So make sure you check that out. So let's look at GEX. Okay, and that was GEX here, how I created in. Okay, let's type in GEX. And we can use the trading plan from the latest trading plan that we have here, and we will switch on to GEX. First we look at a longer term. hourly chart here, you can see, right? Market is still trending up. Feel a lot of resistance here. Okay, let's go to trading plan. Make this a bit smaller here. Switch to hourly chart. So you can see hourly chart is really range bound, and it actually turned green pentagon on the 3rd of September. So it's moving up. It's kind of retest back here. All right, so you got the 39.5 cents, which is the R1, which is an 8% move, right? So that's that 8%, 30, okay, 39 here, yep, which is 395. Okay, this high is 39, so 395, right? The first resistance in here, and then you have the 42 cents, which is way further back. Wow, very far back. Yeah, 42 cents around here. All right, so let's do a trading plan here. You could see GEX again. I believe GEX is a construction, right? Let's take a look at it. And previously we do know all the constructions are hot sectors in here, so we need to keep up with the rotation. And yeah, it is it is an industrial ACE market in here, pretty small. 231 Infotech Alliance. Oh, this is JAK, not the JAKS, JAAKS. I got confused. This is JAKS, a different one here. But be interesting. You see whether the market will try to uptake. So definitely 42 cents. It's an area, right? 42 cents. And if you scroll up, that will be the first resistance. Okay, the 42 cents, which is a 15% upside. But of course, I think we want to target the 39. Okay, 39 cents, which is an 8% profit target. Sorry, 39%, I take it back. 39% the resistance level, R1, which is another 8% movement from our closing price in here. All right, take note, R2 will be the 42 cents, which is the 15% from the closing price where we see in here. All right, let's take a look at the weekly and let's construct it. So let's see here, okay. Weekly trend is still yellow trend zone. Okay, and let's switch to daily. Daily is up, okay, and daily trend zone. Okay, and so let's also take a look at hourly, because we are intraday, right? Okay, hourly trend zone turn blue pentagon, blue trend zone on 3rd of September. Okay, so green pentagon, when did it turn? Green pentagon was sometime back 5th of July, okay? Green So what my take is, this market is going to some sort of resistance level around the 39 cents, and we know by just looking at the R1 there, the 39.5 cents here, right, which is this level in here, so which is probably an area where you see the market unlikely to break or face a lot of resistance over there. Okay, important price level now is so much easier. We have R1, which is just taking from the SMARTRobie here, equals to 0.395. Okay, and then R2 at 0.42. Okay, of course that resistance will gives the price upside, yeah, from here. So-called the price movement in here from the closing price, which is a 8.22% for R1, and 42 is a 15% in here. All right. Okay, that will be, and let's put up the date too. 395 here is, what date is it? 13th of August. Okay, R2 it's further back, so we don't not need to do that. Why will the market move a bit higher? Let's switch to hourly chart. Okay, we have volume coming in on the 6th of September. Okay, volume on 6th of September, and also here too. Okay, and 9 January, and no, this bar here is 9th of September. Okay, what else? Then we have low volume again, low volume reaccumulation. Okay, something we see around here. All right, and we are just waiting for the breakout. All right, let's look at the old low support. So for support, we can go on to exit strategy. All right, okay, we have the 34 cents here, which is 34 cents, which is way down here, S1. Of course, S2 will be even lower at 29 cents, but we can use the weekly support at 34.5 cents, right? 34.5 cents is also here. That is the weekly. This is the hourly. So if you switch to a daily, this is a weekly, will be 34.5 cents here. Yep, that's right. That will be your weekly support here, 34.5 cents. And switching to hourly, let's switch to hourly support. Hourly support also 34.5 cents, I would say. Okay, hourly support at 0.345 to 0.34. Okay, so resistance, I think we just use last resistance. Switching to here will be 39. Okay. Now the trend for this stock, because we are trading intraday, we don't be too far out. Okay, we probably going to give it another 3 days or more, because right now the KLCI is already turned red pentagon. Okay, so let's take a look at what is this morning telling us also, and reload this again. I think my okay. All right, we'll come back to this shortly. I think the internet has some issues that we are seeing here. Or what we can do is to go to our website here and bring it up. Okay, there you go. So you can see here, top glove is up 7%. And this morning it's up 0.18. Hatta is up. So all the rubber glove. Hot sectors is industrial product followed by construction sector here. So take note of this one here. Okay. So we do know, and again, red pentagon is already here. Okay. So you can see red pentagon. So that's why we don't want to be too long on that trade. Okay. Assuming you are full-time, 3 to 5 days. Else we scratch. Okay, means we move out. So intraday trading for experienced trader, like you see something you like, then you want to be in. If you don't see something you like, then you want to exit. Okay, so we'll save that, and we will definitely come back and review that next week. Okay, and so let's move on to the next section. And also remember FBI. FBI is started to move up more. That's why, all things being equal, I want you guys to test out those Pentagon flow with around 60%, closer to 60 to 70%. That will give you a bit of room should the market move up. Those 90% are very, very hot already. All right. So continue update our portfolio January to end August. It's about plus 8%. So going forward, we are still looking to get more position, but the KLCI, as I said before, already turned red pentagon, so we decided not to take any more position yet for our fixed pentagon rules that we shared with you earlier on. All right. For those of you who want to watch out the Trade VSA tutorial, this is the QR code. So to find out more about sign of strength and sign of weakness. And don't forget, this coming next week, All right, next week, 18th of September, we'll be doing our fundamental analysis for TradingView for beginners. So check it out for those of you who prefer fundamental investing in here, something we'll do and spend a bit more time for that one. All right, take note of that one. And of course, our plugin, which we continue to promote in our breakfast show, will definitely help you to become more informed trader. Check it out, and we have installment payment too. All right. Don't forget to subscribe to our Telegram chat room for all information, and do share that with your friends. So don't forget to also subscribe and visit our YouTube website for all our videos. And right now, we are coming to a favorite section of many of our fans in here, top public as well, for our masterclass. Now, if you have any stocks that you want me to look at, I'll be happy to give my 2-cent comment, but from a hourly standpoint. Okay, we're going to be looking at hourly standpoint too, those kind of stocks. All right, do let me know, pencil those in, and I'll be happy to look at them. If you have any stocks that you want me to look at, do pencil those in here, and I'll be happy to look at them. All right, if there's no stocks, okay, we have one here. Uy is an engineer, okay, Uy, and he's looking at US market. Let's look at US market. VZ. Okay, Verizon, that's right, NYSC. Oh, this one, daily chart. Let's switch to daily chart first. Daily chart, after it turned green pentagon, it actually has a red. So at the same time, also take note of it here. You can see, right, this one, market trying to cross back up, but you have the trend, the auto trend line zone basically tells you pretty good. It did have a green pentagon, and every green pentagon that he had, it actually has an opportunity to sell. So there is still a lot of sellers in the market, right? So having a trend line like this will help you to look for better trades. So you have red pentagon in here, turn on your ATR stop loss and check it out. So Uy, I hope you have our plugin. Do you have our plugin or not? All right, do let us know, and whether our plugin will help you or not. Okay, if not, you can use the SMARTRobie for Verizon. Let me just take a look at here. Okay, VZ. And switching to a wider chart here. All right, let's take a look and wait for it. Okay. Yeah, it's just that my phones are, this connections is a bit slower. On the other phones, I already have it. So you can see from the chart, we do have here, that tells you, all right, where we are. You know, each of this red pentagon were an opportunity to distribute. You can see the two trend lines are still pointing downwards. So not a surprise that this market will continue to hit a bit lower before it hit back higher. So take note of that one. Okay, let's look at Solar West, okay, SL West, and we have Ted Sanchun. Please let us know your profession, whether you're a masterclass member or public or top sharer in here. All right, that is the protocol that we have here. So no red pentagon in SMARTRobie yet. Yes, because it will be updated. Now remember, SMARTRobie is end of day. That's what we recommend you to have plug-in to be in tune with the market. the SMARTRobie red pentagon will be updated around 4 o'clock, so you can check it around there. But of course you want something that is quicker, so our plugin is definitely there for you. All right, Ted, do let me know with your solar vest, your profession please. So SL West also turn red pentagon. Trend is still up in here, but watch out for the ATR stop loss. Okay. All right, Ted is a unit trust consultant in here. Okay, so remember, that's all we have for our stock review. It seems that many of you are pretty much well taken care of. You know it's a red pentagon. The sign of strength and sign of weakness have shown you that we are definitely not in good situation. The US market, as I said before, will likely to correct. Our KLCI or rated red pentagon. So you must know what to do. Have a trading plan in mind and seize that you follow that. Okay, that's the only way to do. Now, if the market were to correct some more, at least you know, hey, someone, the SMARTRobie app told me that weakness is coming through. I seen my red pentagon. I seen the trend line is going down. I should do something about it. So it's no surprise why our portfolio that I shared with you before continue to make headways while the overall market. Now you ask yourself these few questions in here. Do you have a system? Are you making money this year? Okay, if you're not, what are the things that you can do to reverse the trend? We have remaining 4 more months to go. So join me in our Zoom session, which is on the 18-17, something you explore and continue to use our tools in here, share with your friends, and don't forget to review our Google Play Store so we will be updated, aligned with our policies that we have in the stores in here. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you not on Monday, but on next Wednesday night, all right, which is the live FB show. Thank you. Bye-bye.